A tense quiet hangs over the Horn of Africa, but it's not the silence of peace, it's the calm before a storm. Ethiopia and Eritrea, old rivals, are once again on the brink, each side building up modern arsenals instead of just soldiers and tanks. The region is a powder keg, with both nations accelerating a hidden arms race. Ethiopia has accused Eritrea at the UN of preparing for war and supporting armed groups inside Ethiopia. Eritrea denies everything, but the denials do little to ease fears. The military buildup is real, and the world is watching nervously. Just a few years ago, these countries were allies in the Tigray War, but that alliance has crumbled. Now, the peace deal of 2018 feels like a distant memory. The Horn of Africa borders the Red Sea, a vital shipping lane. Any conflict here could disrupt global trade and trigger a humanitarian crisis. Millions could be displaced in a region already battered by drought and instability. International calls for dialogue are drowned out by the drums of war. The arms race is getting louder, and the world must pay attention before the storm breaks. The stakes have never been higher. Ethiopia and Eritrea were once one nation, their destinies intertwined. Eritrean fighters, alongside Ethiopian rebels like the TPLF, toppled the Derg regime in 1991, but after Eritrea's independence in 1993, relations soured over borders and economics. By 1998, disputes exploded into a brutal war. Tens of thousands died over barren land like Badme. The war ended in 2000, but left a legacy of bitterness and a militarized, closed border. For nearly 2 decades, the two nations lived in a state of no war, no peace. In 2018, a historic peace deal brought hope, with embassies reopening and flights restored. The world celebrated, and the alliance peaked when both fought the TPLF in the Tigray War. But once the common enemy was gone, old suspicions returned. Ethiopia's lack of sea access resurfaced as a core issue. Addis Ababa began openly seeking a port. Eritrea saw this as a threat to its sovereignty. The brief friendship ended, replaced by renewed rivalry and mistrust. Now, each side views the other as its primary security threat. The border is tense, and the old wounds have reopened. The cycle of mistrust continues, with both nations preparing for the worst. The past is never far behind in the Horn of Africa. Ethiopia is rapidly modernizing its military after the Tigray War, determined to secure its future. The country is forging new alliances with Russia, Turkey, and Iran, acquiring advanced weapons and fighter jets. The Ethiopian Air Force is being rebuilt, with negotiations for Russian Su-35s and upgrades to older jets. Ethiopia's drone fleet, Turkish Bayraktars, Iranian Mahajers, and Chinese Wing-Lungs, gives it a powerful edge for surveillance and precision strikes. These drones were decisive in Tagayaum and are now central to Ethiopia's strategy. To protect its assets, Ethiopia has deployed advanced Russian air defense systems along its northern border. The goal: dominate the skies and deter any threat from Eritrea. Ethiopia's military transformation is a clear signal. It's willing to invest heavily to achieve its strategic goals. The balance of power in the region is shifting fast. Eritrea, facing a larger neighbor, relies on deterrence and secrecy. Its military is a fortress, disciplined, secretive, and designed to make invasion costly. Eritrea's air force with MiG-29s and Su-27s matches Ethiopia's, ensuring no easy air supremacy. The Red Sea coastline is heavily fortified with Chinese anti-ship missiles and radar domes. Ports like Massawa and Assab are protected, making naval attacks risky. Underground bunkers hide command centers and aircraft, shielding them from strikes. Eritrea's drone arsenal is growing, with Iranian reconnaissance and kamikaze drones adding new layers to its defense. The country's geography and hardened infrastructure make it a tough target. Eritrea's message is clear. Any attack will come at a high price. Its fortress strategy is built to outlast and outmaneuver. The Ethiopia-Eritrea rivalry is now defined by high-tech warfare. Drones and electronic warfare have replaced massed armies as the tools of power. Ethiopia's diverse drone fleet can strike deep into Eritrea, while Eritrea counters with swarms of kamikaze drones. Both sides are investing in electronic warfare, jamming GPS, intercepting communications, and disrupting enemy systems. Control of the airwaves is as crucial as control of the skies. A technologically superior force can now defeat a larger one. The new battlefield is digital, remote, and unpredictable. A single cyber attack or drone strike could trigger massive retaliation before diplomacy can intervene. The arms race in technology is making the region more unstable. The old rules of war no longer apply. The Horn of Africa is now a testing ground for the future of conflict. The Red Sea is the heart of the Ethiopia-Eritrea conflict. Eritrea's coastline is its greatest asset. For Ethiopia, its absence is a crippling vulnerability. The port of Assab is the ultimate prize, a lifeline for Ethiopia, a red line for Eritrea. Ethiopia's push for sea access has become a national priority, but its military buildup sends a threatening message. Eritrea sees any move on Assab as an existential threat and has fortified the coast accordingly. The Red Sea is a global trade artery. Any conflict here would have worldwide consequences. Control of Assab would give Ethiopia economic power and naval reach. The fate of this small port could decide the future of the entire region. The Ethiopia-Eritrea arms race is destabilizing the entire Horn of Africa. Regional alliances are shifting. Ethiopia partners with Russia, Iran, and Turkey, while Eritrea draws closer to Egypt. Egypt's dispute with Ethiopia over the Nile adds another layer of tension. Proxy conflicts are emerging, with both sides accused of supporting armed groups inside each other's borders. The risk of a wider regional war is growing, threatening fragile economies and millions of lives. The 1998-2000 border war solved nothing and left deep scars. A new war, fought with drones and cyber weapons, would be even more devastating. The urgent need is for de-escalation and diplomacy. Military confrontation will only bring ruin to both nations and the region. The world must act to help Ethiopia and Eritrea step back from the brink. The future of the Horn of Africa and global stability hangs in the balance. The time to prevent disaster is now.